Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning. How's it going, gentlemen?
Great. It's better for me. Bobby and Peyton had a really hot piece of chicken yesterday, and it's still affecting them. Are you you good with spicy foods?
Wow, we're off to a flying start this morning. What you guys short on content?
No. Just
well, let's not make anything up. I've had enough of that for a year. Yeah, definitely. No, I enjoy some spicy food. Definitely.
Hey, Bobby handled it better than I would.
I do okay with it.
Yeah. Bobby handled it much better than I would. Back-to-back division wins. I mean, you're really good. Like, going from 3-7 to 5-7. I mean, teams, sometimes can take the sideways route there and do selfish play and not play team football. The professionalism, though, that's something you've got to be really proud of with the way the guys have responded.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm proud of the way they've handled everything has been thrown at them. I mean, that's the way these seasons go, and you just got to hang in there and stick together. And it really just starts with the everyday operation. And they've been practicing very well. We've had 2 really good back-to-back practices. We'll have our heavy lifting practice today with the pads and so forth. So, yes, we just got to stay after it. I've been very, very pleased with the way the men have just stayed the course.
Coach, you announced the Zach Martin surgery yesterday and that his season will be over. Can you just talk about, in general, what Zach Martin has meant to this locker room while you've been here and how he's impressed you as a player and a leader, not only as your time here in Dallas, but, when you were a competitor on the other side in Green Bay?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, number one, for Zach to be recognized for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award, it's clearly one of the greatest individual honors in all of sports. I think it clearly shows the type of man, the individual that he is. I mean, he's represented this organization, the team, the locker room, both on and off the field, and in such a high-class manner. I think we all we start these conversations because of the type of player he is. His play on the field has been super consistent. I mean, he's an annual Pro Bowler. What's he, 9, 10 Pro Bowls in his career, and but he's that person every day too. And I think just the consistency that he was able to illustrate on the field is at playing at a Pro Bowl level each year. But he's even more of that for us as a man, and we're definitely going to miss him.
Is it a little weird when a player gets to this stage of their career, which obviously Zach Martin's talked about it himself, that I can kind of see light at the end of the tunnel. It's getting near the end of my time here in the league. Is it a little odd that when something like this happens, you want to heap praise on them and talk a little reflectively while also balancing hey, let's not memorialize somebody who has not made any decisions about what they want to do with the rest of their career?
Oh yeah, definitely. No, that's I mean, he's focused on getting healthy, and I just think that this is the hard part of the game. It's no one really gets to go through this game without the injury challenge, and just for his season to come to an end. Like I said, we're gonna miss him, but he'll still be here. As far as the everyday stuff, but yeah, definitely. I mean, this is all part of this challenge that we're having this year as a team.
Talking with Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy here on 105 through the Fan. Coach Brock Hoffman has been asked to step in at right guard the last few weeks with Zach out. What have you seen from him? And specifically, it seems like everybody's been talking about just the tenacity and the edge he plays with and what that brings for you guys.
Yeah, definitely. No, he definitely brings an edge. He's been like that since the day he arrived here. So I've always appreciated that. But I think the biggest thing is, especially when you go in for, a Zach Martin, the biggest thing is, as a player, when you get your opportunity, you just want you want everything to continue and grow. And as part of the offensive line, you're one of 5, and he does a tremendous job in the classroom. He's a great communicator, but he's really been able to step in and keep us in sync in there.
Coach, how do you balance potentially the concept of, man, we love the edge, we love the tenacity, and we want you to be who you are and be that type of player, while also hey, let's make sure we're not getting any, post-whistle penalties here or any sort of issues with pushing and shoving. Is there a fine line there, or do you just say, hey, I got to let that guy be who that guy is?
Definitely. No, I think in the line is clearly before the ball snap and then it goes until the whistle blows. I think just the pre and post snap penalties are the things that you just you can't have, and you're always trying to work to get those out of your game. But what goes on during that period of time is you want as much as these guys can give, and Brock definitely does a great job of that.
Mike McCarthy joined us here at 105 through the fan. I want to talk about Rico a little bit. I mean, it's a pretty good turnaround for him. Jerry called him a violent runner. What's he done differently in the last few games to get this kind of production?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we've been able to, commit to it and get him touches. But it's just like anything. When the quarterback's in a groove, he's seeing it. His decisions and ball placement are where they need to be, and it's no different for a running back. The courses and the decision making, and he needs to continue to stay disciplined in that area. But I do agree with Jerry. He has an outstanding run style, and it's something we always loved about Rico.
As a quarterback guy, when you're watching a guy like Burrow on tape, and you got to go up against him, and it's like that's kind of scary. But when you're watching him as like a quarterback guy, it's like okay, it's pretty impressive. Is this the best that you've seen him play?
Yeah, I definitely. I think it's just going back to 22. It was obviously, when you think about, I'm trying to remember the year that he really jumped out, but yeah, I would agree with that. Just the tape. I mean, just the last 3 games. I mean, just their whole offense. But he's seeing it. He's on time. He plays really fast. He can see the rush lane integrity or feel it quickly. He fills those A and B gaps open, steps up, and the thing about him is, when Joe does step up, his eyes are downfield and he's looking to make throws and extend the play too, in the passing game. So, but very accurate with the football, great anticipator. But yeah, I think that's probably accurate. I think he's playing some of the best ball of his career.
When you go through your sort of quarterback checklist when you're evaluating one, is there anything that when you watch Burrow on tape you go, he might do that better than anybody else in the league? Like, is there a specific trait that you say, I don't know that anybody in the league does that better?
I think his anticipation, the instinct anticipation in the ball placement. I think he's exceptional. I think he's definitely at the top of the rung there. So that's obviously playing in the system now. He's been in that system now for a number of years. He has a perimeter group that he's very connected to. So not only is he playing at a high level, I mean, the particular passing game has been extremely impressive.
Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy joining us here on 105 through the fan. We talked about how Brock Hoffman stepped up with the injury to Zach Martin. How have you been impressed or how have you felt about the progress that you've seen from Luke Schoonmaker, a guy who's had to step up and do a little bit more with Jake Ferguson out, and a guy who has had his struggles just with health and other things the first year and a half that he's been here?
Yeah, I can't tell you how happy I am for Luke. I think just like any young player, you just watch these guys prepare and go through the ups and downs of being a young player in this league and go through the injury challenges. But you see the work ethic every day, very consistent. So it's great to see him rewarded for all the extra work that he's put in. But he's definitely really stepped up since Fergie's been hurt.
Coach, did you get a chance to see the game last night, Lions-Packers?
I saw I saw the fourth quarter. I got home for the fourth quarter.
All right, good. So at the very end, there's 43 seconds left. It was a 4th and 1, and they go for the first down to basically make the field goal. Not really any easier, but just end the game. I want to go like the 4th down strategy. Is it how much of 4th down strategy is gut and feel versus like I've got a chart, this is the numbers, this is what the percentages say?
I think there's 2 components to those decisions. You have your chart, excuse me, that, everybody, I would think, has some type of systematic communication that's going on throughout the game. And the other part of it, and I think it's real important, is the ebb and flow of the game. I mean, there's things that happen during the course of the game, that will, give you more confidence or maybe not as much confidence in a particular call in those situations too, So I think you have to play to both of those because sometimes you just stick clearly to the chart and and there's sometimes where you let the ebb and flow push you in one direction or the other. So I think that's the way I've always done it, and without seeing the first three quarters, obviously Dan felt really good about the call and was correct because they clearly were able to get the first down, and I think you also got to look back at the third down play because they had the safety blocked, and then and then they so obviously it wasn't as clean on third down, and it looked like they had great confidence in the call, and they were correct.
So I a lot of fans, and I myself included, last weekend during some college football games, it was there was, I think A&M had a play where it was like right on the goal line, and they handed it off. The question is, why hand it off 3 yards back when you got to go a half yard instead of just sneaking it? Is that strictly based on who the quarterback is?
No, there's the snake is also what defensive front they're in, and the matchups you have, and there's definitely a number of different. There's more one variable in when the snakes when you think it's going to work and when it's not going to work. It's a lot more than handing the ball off 3 yards deep as opposed to sneaking it.
Coach, last one for you here. There was obviously some headlines this week that I know you got asked about on Wednesday, I believe, where Dak Prescott gave a really strong endorsement to you returning and had talked about it being on your terms. I know you said at the time, you said, I haven't seen it, not really sure what the context is. Have you had a chance to talk to Dak or anything since then and get a better idea of what that was?
I'm just very appreciative of our relationship and everything that he pours into not only the team but making everything better around here each and every day. But the biggest thing is I haven't really spoke on my situation throughout the year, and I really don't think this is the time to do it. But I am very appreciative of his positive, kind words.
Hey, Coach, we appreciate it. Good luck this I guess Monday night, not this weekend, and make it 3 in a row.
All right, guys. Talk to you next week.